I want to start today looking at the key signature in this piece. We have two key signatures. It changes key halfway through the piece. And so let's start by looking at the first key signature. All right, 3 sharps in the key. 3 sharps. If we have 3 sharps in the key signature, those 3 are F, C, and G. So take a second, grab out your pencil. If you feel like you need to label any F sharps, C sharps, and G sharps throughout the entire piece, pause the video and label those now. There's no shame in labeling anything. I always like the saying, the audience doesn't know if you wrote on your music, but they'll know if you didn't, because you'll make mistakes, right? So mark your music up, label those sharps. If we have 3 sharps in the key signature like we do, F, C, and G, that's our concert G scale. So I would encourage you, after you're done labeling the notes, to pause the video and play this scale once or twice, the concert G scale. You can choose to play the higher notes or the low octave, but really get those sharps under your fingers. So pause the video and practice that really quick. Then, once we feel comfortable with that, I would encourage you to play the section of the piece that is in that key signature. We're going to keep moving, and I'll play through the whole piece towards the end here, but let's go to measure 42 where we have that key change. 5 sharps. 5 sharps. If we have 5 sharps, it's F, C, G, D, and A. So from measure 42 to the end, I might look and see if you have any F's, C's, G's, D's, and A's that you might want to mark sharp. While you're doing that, I'll leave this page up, and feel free to check out any fingerings that you might have questions on, D sharps and A sharps. Again, I'll play through this whole thing in a little bit here. All right. Now, I have this scale here for you too, if you'd like to play through the scale with that many sharps. It's your concert A. You have 5 sharps. So feel free again to pause the video and play through this scale to really get your brain and your fingers into that key signature. All right. In addition to the key signature, I wanted to draw on a couple tricky rhythms in this piece. There's more tricky rhythms in the trumpet 1 part than there are in the trumpet 2 part, but the trumpet 2 part does have a similar rhythm over here in measure 48 and then again in measure 50. So trumpet 2, feel free to play along here with me in measure 48 and 50 as we learn this syncopated rhythm together. I have a feeling you guys know the syncopated rhythm, but I just wanted to highlight it really quick. So this rhythm here would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and ta, 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 ta. Okay? You're playing a lot on the ands. You're playing on the and of 3 and the and of 4. I'm going to play that for you quick, and then I would encourage you to play along with me. I'll play the low octave since that seems to be what trumpet 2 is playing and maybe some trumpet 1s. And then we hold that B for forever and ever. Good. Now, trumpet 1, not trumpet 2, trumpet 1, at measure 38, you have a similar syncopated rhythm. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1. So I'm going to play that for you, getting used to playing on the and of 1 and then the and of 2. Play along with me. Right in measure 38. Ready? And... Awesome. Feel free to replay that section if you struggled with that rhythm. Count it out with me. Play it with me. The next thing, 2 small things coming up here, and then I'm going to play through the piece for you. Trumpet 1s. I'm going to encourage, I think this is Sophie and Eli. I'm going to encourage you to try for the high D sharp second valve to the high F sharp. When we get to these sections, I want you to think only about the speed of your air. Okay, so really support with your air. Hopefully when you hear me play through this, it's nice and clear. You hear the air support, and if you just kind of let it float up there with lots of fast air, it's going to come out awesome. What you don't want to do is dig your trumpet into your face. Okay, and then the last thing, and this applies to both trumpet 1 and 2, you guys have lots of C sharps in this piece. And I talked to you guys about this at our last rehearsal, but it's super important. Every time you have a low C sharp, this is the trumpet 1 part here, we have lots of them, right? Low C sharps. If I go to the trumpet 2, you have even more. Look at all these C sharps. You need to kick out your third valve slide. The C sharp is even more out of tune than the D, so hopefully all of you have been kicking out on your Ds. When you play a C sharp, ooh, you really got to slam it out there because that note is super sharp. So if you kick it out, it's going to be more in tune. So I encourage you to not only practice the notes and rhythms, but practice that kicking out of the slide to make the C sharp really nice and in tune. All right. I think that is all of my notes and practice tips for the Old Boatman. So now I'm going to go ahead and play for you the entire thing, trumpet 1 first and then trumpet 2. All right, I'm going to now play for you all the Old Boatman for trumpet 1. Play along with me. I'm going to start right at the trumpet 1 entrance, right here. 1, 2, ready. We rest for 4 measures. I'm going to go down to that solo line at measure 37. 1, 2, ready. Check out the key signature here. I'm going to take the top octave, and I encourage you to give that a try with me here. This is measure 46. We'll just want to make sure to watch Miss Harton there at the end, since there's a fermata on that super long note. Going to move on to the trumpet 2, the Old Boatman. Same thing, I'm going to start right at the trumpet 2 entrance. Starting on a low C sharp, my friends, so that means 1, 2, 3, with the third valve slide out there. Here we go, starting right on the trumpet 2 entrance. Ready? Check out the key change. We now have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. Here we go. Starting at the odd tempo, your next entrance at 46 on a D sharp. 2 and 3. 1, 2, ready. again, you want to make sure you watch Miss Harton for the dynamics there at the end and for the cutoff on that fermata. So there is the Old Boatman. Repeat this video as many times as you need for a little play along, and we'll get to the next one.